Welcome to Next Topic Podcast, where the only rule is to stay on topic and no topic is off limits. Today is August the 18th. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about quarantine ships. My name is Lo. I'm joined by.
My name is Shad.
My name is Cam.
My name is Abel.
And let's get into it.
Yes. So on today's episode, as Lauren mentioned before, we're going to talk about quarantine ships. And basically, these are not like ships you are eating in quarantine. These are the various relationships that you are having while being in quarantine, basically like shelter in place, and how those relationships have changed or improved or declined or whatever during the last, 5 months we have been in
Which is wild.
It's still crazy. We are still sheltering in place. So we're going to ask the panel how their various relationships have changed, not just those like romantic ones, but like if you have like a roommate, how that relationship has been while you're here. Like if you live with your parents, or if you live with, we don't know where Bell be at. Wherever you be, he got a new background every time, like how that relationship has changed. So who wants to?
Why don't you go first, roommates?
Oh, roommates? Let's see. So basically, Cameron, how would you describe our living situation together before quarantine?
We barely saw each other. Like, I was gone all the time. So when I was gone, you was here, and you was working all the time. So when you was gone, I was here. Like, it literally felt like I had this motherfucker to myself. We would see each other maybe like once on the weekend, and that was it. But now I see you every fucking day.
All day. That is true. Because I would be at work.
And do you like it?
I don't mind it. It's just my brother, so it's easy.
That's true. I would describe it as that is true because I work. I didn't get off to like 6, so I was home to like 6:30. By the time I come home, he either like be gone or like sleep or doing whatever he was doing. So I just be at home at night, and then we might see. I'm like, I'm going to bed. He's like, I'm walking in the house, and then that would be it. But it worked well. Like we didn't fight like before quarantine or had like any disagreements or anything like that. So it was well. But Cameron, how would you describe our relationship now being in quarantine?
I honestly don't think it's really much of a difference. Besides the fact that we see each other all the time. I think now we definitely spend a lot more quality time together.
Oh,
I know, right?
that's cute.
Shut up, Lauren. But then like figuring out what we're gonna eat is a little harder because we eat together more often than we did before. So it's like, all right, who cooking? Oh, you cooking? I was gonna cook. Okay, well you just cook this and I cook tomorrow. Like it's just, so we definitely got to work on that communication because it ain't there.
I know you got to work on that communication.
Dude, I just be having ideas. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna cook dinner. I come home and shit thawing out. I'm like, oh.
Right. He wasn't planning when he gonna cook at 6. I'm like, we're supposed to be eating at 6.
For real.
This ain't the early bird special now. Niggas ain't eating at 6.
Right.
We have a very strict schedule around here. Strict.
Hey, Miss Keith.
Yeah, I was like, the good thing is like we haven't like fought or anything. Luckily, we have like upstairs, downstairs, and things like that, and TVs in multiple rooms. So we don't like have to always be like on top of each other all the time, which I would say is a good thing. So we haven't like fought much. We haven't fought at all. Like we usually don't fight anyway.
Yeah.
Or like have like any like sort of like disagreements about things. So we just do our own things, like which is good.
Yeah, that sounds good and healthy.
It does sound good and healthy. So Cameron, what advice would you give to like roommates who are living together, especially like, if they're siblings or anything like that?
Stay in your own lane. Like focus on your own shit. Cause as soon as you start worrying about somebody else, that's when the head start button. Just do you.
That's easier said than done, though. Because I was going to say, some people have roommate situations. One roommate's loud or messy or whatever. And if you're together, all day, like that would drive me nuts.
See, I don't. Rashad loud, but I don't mind it because I'm used to it. So the nigga always get loud. And then now, like, I'm gone anyway all the time because I'm getting my studio together, so I'm there all the time. And now we having rentals, so I gotta cover those rentals. So I'm really not here. And when he here, he in the office with the door closed in his meetings all day. So
It kind of like feel like I'm still at work.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm still gone.
Yeah. What I would advice I would give people, I guess like communication is one of the things you like communicate about. Because like we do communicate like I'm gonna be in here, I'm gonna be over here, like different spaces and time in the house. Yeah, so like because like you guys always in like the same room all the time. Like one person have meetings because you're working from home too, and the other person doesn't. It'd be like, okay, like I'm gonna be like doing this in the house or like doing that, or so it just communication and things like that. So,
Yeah.
but
And,
overall, that's
and
been good.
understanding for sure, because like sometimes I recognize that I'm being loud, and I know he in a meeting. I'm like, oh fuck, he's in a meeting. All right, chill out. So just realizing that he gonna be in meetings all day on Thursdays. So Thursdays, camera got to be quiet.
So, Belle, how would you describe your work from home or work from home? How would you describe your quarantine situation?
I would say at the beginning, the first, let me say 3-4 months. We're on the fifth, 6 months right now. But I was very strictly at home. I stay with my folks, with my family, so it's been nice to spend quality time and also ask questions and things like that. And I also have my brothers that stay in the crib, so sometimes you get tired. Like you're like, damn, I want to go. That's why I go on hikes a lot. I get out the house, I have to leave and get some different kind of like energy. But it's been nice. I'm not gonna lie. But I also now the past month I feel like I've been getting out the house and going to like my friends' spots and stuff like that in different cities. So it's been nice to get a little bit of break too. But I would say all in all, it is kind of boring to just stay at the house. And especially when everybody's doing the same thing and stuff like that. But at the other side, I like spending quality time with the family and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, for you, this was more of a blessing in disguise,
Yeah.
the opportunity.
For sure. I would say that.
Cool.
So you say you live with your folks before. How was that? Had that relationship, was it like changing or differing because you guys were all at home?
Yeah, I think in a good way though. I feel like my parents ask a lot of questions now because we at home. So it's just talking about like what you planning on doing in the future, things like that. So it's really cool to have those conversations. Yeah.
Okay. Did you make a plan what you want to do for the future? I'm like it was actually for 3 months.
Yeah. I got a plan. Making a plan. Yeah.
Oh, y'all want to make one? I'm just playing with you. Let me leave you alone.
Dad number 2, huh?
Right?
Okay, Lauren. So
So Lauren, so what's up going with you? You the one who like have a
I was waiting for y'all to ask.
I know we're playing. You have lived in Penis. So how's that going?
You got a whole little family under one roof.
Yeah, so okay, one thing, like you, Cameron, and Roshad were mentioning, like we before this, like we didn't spend that much time together, even though we lived together. Like he works in San Francisco, I work in Palo Alto. We got up every day and basically went our separate ways at like 7 o'clock, and then didn't see each other again until like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. ish. And so it was like, okay, well, we might have a snack, maybe not, watch a show and then go to sleep, wake up, do the same. So on the weekends, we would see more of each other and spend more quality time together, I guess you would say. So now we're like seeing each other 24/7. At first, it was just kind of like, this is weird. It was, well, actually, no, I'll lie. I lied. It started off great, like, oh wow, I can see you 24/7. But then it was like, okay, this is a lot. And it's weird because it's like I don't have any opportunity to like even miss you because I see you all day. So I definitely miss that, like being able to come home after work and be like, hey, give him a hug and like all that stuff, like, and just like whatever. Yeah, but it's like now it's like it ain't no, hey, how you doing? Where you been? How was your day? I know exactly how it was. Um, so yeah, but I think we're managing as well as we possibly could. We have Rudy now, our puppy, and he takes up a lot of our time and also attention. So it's like we have less opportunity to be like
Less direction at each other.
annoying each other.
Uh,
Yes. But
Do you
other
find
than
that there's
that,
less to talk about?
um, no, only because there's so much going on in the world. And then also I think this whole situation has like forced a lot of people to like self-reflect and think about, okay, what do I want out of life, what really matters, all that stuff. And so we've definitely been talking a lot about that, um yeah.
okay. What advice would you give to like other couples like quarantining during this time? Like
Yeah,
if they're going through it.
communication is like key. That's it. Like that is it. So like even like not letting things like build up. So like something's bothering you, vocalize it. Because you will reach your breaking point and then all of a sudden it's an explosion and you ain't got nowhere to go.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So definitely communicate and also like let them know about your schedule, especially if you're both working from home. So like we try each day to start with like, okay, what time are your meetings? When are your calls? Okay, I can go outside for this one. I can't, you know what I mean? So the sort of thing like that. Um, yeah, you just really gotta talk about everything.
Mhm.
Even if you feel like you're like complaining, it's better than just like moping around.
Right. Because I was gonna say like how often like should you communicate? Because you want to be like nagging, like, oh, like don't do that, don't do like
Yeah,
it's like an all day situation. It could be, but I guess you got to
yeah,
get past that hump because once they know you don't like that, then they should stop or y'all should talk about it.
Yeah.
yeah. And for me, I have to work on my delivery. Because when I don't like something, sometimes it can just be like,
Straightforward, blunt. You don't give a fuck.
Mhm.
Just do it.
yes.
It's a spam call, like you told me the other day.
But I've been, I think I've grown a lot during this quarantine situation.
Uh-huh. I guess another question is like since we all in the world have like various like trying to have like romantic partners and stuff like that. How do you keep like the romance alive during quarantine?
That's
It's
such
hard.
a great question.
It's hard because everything is fucking closed. Like, and
Or you
then
don't go on a date.
but the places that are open are packed because it's the only place that's open. So like you like now you really got to make reservations for shit, or you got to just be that that bae nigga and just take her to a view. Just like
Go on a hike.
Yup.
I
See,
ain't doing,
Abel.
I didn't talked about that. I ain't doing that.
This is your time, Abel.
That's what I'm
Hey, for real, you get
saying.
all the free dates you want.
Right. Even I
You
went
should
on a
have
hike.
by the end of the year.
Real. You go to the beach.
Um,
You
It's
do
hard though, I would say. Like,
It is for
because
sure.
again, like being together 24/7, it's like there's
do
not
we need a date?
much that happens that's surprising. You know what I
Mhm.
And you
mean?
don't really think about it either, like, because I'm with you all the time. So it's like I got so much other shit going on. It's like, well, I see you, I'm with you, yada yada. It's like you forget sometimes, like, oh, I do have to make you feel special, even though I'm with you 24/7.
Yes,
Mhm.
that part.
Yeah.
So like I sometimes like I'll try to make more of an effort to just like try to plan to do something on the weekend. What do you like make it somewhat special? Like,
Mhm.
do we want to like go pick up some food from the grocery store and cook a nice meal together, whatever, like something that we wouldn't normally cook. Um, so I try to do that. Um, Other than that, it's really hard, like, because you got to get creative. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you do, Rashad?
I guess like because we all in like various like different relationships. There's like Lauren been in a relationship for years. Cameron has been in a relationship like for a minute now. I don't know what you got going on the bill, but like, huh?
I got nothing.
I know. So like we're dating. So like during quarantine is like a different beast because like as you guys know, like in January we're like I'm like I don't want to date more. So I have like been dating more in quarantine, and it's been interesting because like your usual like dates that you go on like you can't do. So in a sense like I have to be creative as well. It's like you can't do like dinner and a movie. I'm like even though that's like a typical date, it's like something you can't do now. So it's like you got to be like creative and like some of like the dates you do. It's more like picnic-ish type
Yeah.
dates, like outside, like more hiking. Like I went hiking, even though I said I would never go hiking, but I'm like I just had to like take one for the team and go hiking. I'm like, and I had a good time. So
I would hope
um,
so. It's gone for 6 hours.
I was. It was like a hiking and then like a picnic situation. You know, we like brought our dogs and everything like that. So like it was a
Oh, cute.
I know. It was like a good time. So we do have to be like creative and like, you know, like going like walks and stuff like that. Like see like, you know, like the city and stuff like that. We like went to San Francisco, and San Francisco looks different. There's nobody there, so it's like it's a different experience and like not as overwhelming.
Hmm.
So it is like you know, like we are like inside and stuff like that. Because like when we first meet, I'm like we had to like see some other people besides like ourselves.
Mm.
Because you know, when you date somebody, you like you go out in the world and you see things. You're not just always in their house.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wonder if this person is the same, like in the outside
God,
world.
yeah.
Which is
Oh, right.
something,
You haven't seen them like really interact with other people or like
right?
socialize.
Because like when you like date people, like you go to this restaurant, you see how they act like with waiters and waitresses. You see how they talk to other people. Like you're on a car together, you see if they got road wage or not. So, you know, all that stuff is like not happening, which you don't think about when the world
Yeah.
is normal. That you like you figure out other aspects of their life. It's only y'all two. Y'all just have to talk. It ain't
Hmm.
much activities happening. It ain't many activities you can do. So you just like talk and get to know each other on that level, but you don't know how to
Hmm.
interact with other people until you like go out into the world.
I
So
feel like the way the world is right now and people interacting or dating or whatever the case may be, I feel like it kind of skips a step and moves it a little further into intimacy before anything because you're letting this person into your essentially your world, your home.
Yeah.
So they see you and all of your abundance of yourself and for what you are versus like, oh, well, I'll meet you here and we'll do this. And then
When
y'all
you're all
separate.
polished and
Right. So now it's like, this is my home
that's
on the
me.
first date. Like this.
Right. That is true because I noticed that as well. Like I was dating, it's like you do feel like you like are skipping a step because like you have more time too.
Mhm.
So it's like you know you go to work, then you be tired. So y'all like when you dated, you probably like see each other like less often. You get to know somebody. But now it's like I work, so like I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me like text this person, let me call them. So it's like it moves a little bit
Yeah.
quicker. In a,
Yeah.
and you know the gays and lesbians know we move quick anyway.
Anyway, so now y'all fucking
Anyway,
hyper speed.
right, you hauling as they call it, moving real quick. Um, it is like a quicker process because you do get to know the person quicker. So like I
Yeah,
always like tell myself like, is it too fast? Like, is it too slow? But then
that's
like you don't
great.
always want to like dictate yourself to like the norms of dating, like what you think you're supposed to be doing. You want to
Yeah.
like,
And the other thing is, if this situation hasn't taught us anything, it's that life's short, you know, and
Yeah.
you kind of have to seize every opportunity and moment. Like I am looking back to pre-quarantine and like all the little outings or invitations I got from friends that I turned down. I was like, I'm trying to stay home. And look at it now, like
you know, every
I,
invitation, huh?
yes, and I will go.
Yeah, Lauren been
I'm gonna
going
wear
because I'm hanging
myself
with all
out.
her friends. I'm like, this girl, this is new low. Like she out
Yeah.
here on these streets.
And it's crazy, like even the thought of just being outside, like even just like with my friends, we don't kick it as much no more because there ain't really shit to do and we don't want to be in the fucking house. Because if that's the case, I could just be in my own goddamn house. So, you know, like last night was super refreshing. I went out with some friends and we went to nasty ass Chevy's because they had outside seating by the water and it was just like, fuck it. And we literally just sat outside talking, chopping it up till 1 in the morning. But the fact
So
we wasn't
quickly.
drinking or nothing, like it was just we were just chilling and it was refreshing because we were just outside. And it's crazy to think like niggas just want to be outside. Like we on punishment, and it's crazy.
We are.
Friends, you brought up a good topic, Cameron. So, like, how have you seen relationships with your friends change? Because, like I would say, like when this all first started, like it was very intense. It was like, wow, like we're really not going nowhere. And then it started to you start to figure out like it's gonna be a long time. And so everyone's dealing with their own struggles, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really hard. And I think we might have talked about this like a very first episode or two or something. But like how it's hard to sometimes like always be there for your friends, especially when you're going through things yourself. So how would you all say that your relationships with your friends have changed for the better or for the worse?
I'm gonna go second. Go ahead, somebody.
I can go, since me and Lauren are friends in real life. Um, I would say, well, our friends, we've been through some shit during this quarantine, child.
And which is funny because we were just talking about this, like we haven't individually really been through stuff, but a lot of our friends have.
Right, like our friends have like even I went through my situation back at the beginning of quarantine.
Sure did.
We had our friends. The good thing is like we aren't like fighting or like our relationship with each other hasn't like I think it only got better. I'm like it hasn't got like worse or anything, but it just showed us like since we have like little various different like situations that have happened like individually that like we told our friends about and how our friends have been there to like support each other has been like a real good thing during this quarantine because I think I'm like oh shit we are friends like and we're like a group of friends. I'm like it's like us five together. So and it has been like real interesting to see like how like our individual relationships with each other like have like come full circle into like a group because we wasn't like a group of five of us until quarantine happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, Rashad and Lauren, Lauren and Nate, Rashad and Nick, Rashad and Wumi, Lauren, Rashad. Now it's like our name Roller Crow in the Woo. Our name
Excuse me?
It's just like our first two letters of our names together.
So say it
it's like Roller Crona Woo.
That sounds like another language.
Amen. So I think it has been like real good for us. And it let us know.
I mean, we check in with each other every week, minimum once a week. We have our little video calls and it's just like, it's so refreshing for me, even though we're not even in person. That it provides me opportunities to kind of escape my situation and like where I don't really feel like I'm at home or like it's not just me and my partner, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm having friend time and then I'll come back to our house and our relationship, you know what I mean? And so it's a nice little escape.
I feel like for me at the beginning of quarantine, it was like, oh, nothing has changed. Because maybe it's because also I wasn't really, at first I wasn't taking quarantine serious. So it was like, it didn't feel, anything changed. But then for the next like 2-3 months into July, late June, there was a moment I felt like communication wise, I wasn't talking to my friends at all and vice versa. And I realized like, one, I'm a type of person that's like, even if I don't see you for 3-4 months, the next time I see you is gonna be like, yo, how you been? Like, it's gonna continue from there. And then with some of my friendships, it's like people were going through their own like battles within those 2-3 months. And then later communicating that it's been like, damn, I should check in more and things like that. And some people, I don't know, like some people losing like family members and stuff throughout this time and stuff like that. So it's been interesting, but definitely does. It's teaching me a lot for sure. A lot.
I can say for me, like in the beginning, it was rough. Like me and my friends, damn near all my friends is in relationships now. Like so you got other people to deal with. So we really wasn't dealing with each other. So we had our own individual shit going on. And like we wasn't like we was butting heads, we wasn't really talking like that. And now we all kind of reaching the same point to where it's like, all right, I'm in this, but I still got to be with my niggas. So now it's like we all trying to find time to really communicate and kick it and shit like that. Because it's like, why the fuck not? At this point, our relationship should go to the next level and figure out what the fuck is going on. So now a lot of us are making business moves even during this time. And that's a lot of meetings that we have, or even if it's through FaceTime or we just go have lunch or something, we always end up talking about business, and then we check up on each other, and then back to the money. So I can
That's
say definitely
beautiful.
it grew.
I love to see it. So what closing remarks, last words of advice for folks, what I will say is to check in on your strong friends, family, whomever who you think might be thugging it out and doing just fine. Check in on them. Odds are they're struggling. Take care of your mental health. It's of the utmost importance. We've seen a lot of people express suicidal thoughts, commit suicide, attempt to commit suicide. So please check in on your friends, seek help when you need it. We'll drop some links for resources. Cameron will put some links in here. Anyone else with any closing remarks?
Communicate who you are living with in quarantine, because that ship will sink if you don't communicate how you feel in a positive way.
Yeah, don't stress shit. Just enjoy life, because at this point we realize that, like Lauren said, life is really short. Just enjoy the good times and don't stress the bad times.
Abel?
Absolutely. Yeah, likewise. Tell those people that you love them while they're here. Give them their flowers, and yeah, stay high spirited.
Love it. Remember to like, subscribe, listen to us on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Watch our video on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc., etc. You can follow me at Coolkey, COOLKEYES.
You can follow me at Shads_Space. That's SHADS_SPACE.
Well, before I say where you can follow me, look at this light. I look gorgeous.
No, your lighting is on point, Cameron. I'm like over here kind of jealous.
The Zoom meeting only 40 minutes.
You could follow me on everything at Clicks by Cam, CKSBYKM.
And you can follow me on Insta and Twitter on AbiRuss, so ABIIRUSS.
Follow us at Next Topic Podcast. Like, subscribe, click that link.
And toodaloo in your little quarantine shit.
Motherfucker.
Look. Bye-bye.